Hey Johnny, I'm at Fenway Park. Over there is where I fell. I fell from there. Hey Johnny, I gotta find Tammy Lynn. Tammy Lynn. Or some knacks. We gotta go to the car, then back to the park, and then go to a bar. Blech. Tattoo. Ted 2 is directed by Seth MacFarlane, stars Mark Wahlberg, Seyfried, and Seth MacFarlane is the sequel to the hit comedy sequel Ted. The plot for this movie is that Ted gets married to his girlfriend Tammy Lynn from the first film, and since they want to have a kid, Ted is not labeled as a person, he's labeled as property, and he has to go to court and fight for his civil rights, and that's basically the plot of this movie, and then the whole adventures ensues, and it's your typical Seth MacFarlane humor, and if you love this kind of humor, you'll have fun with this movie. Ted is one of my favorite comedy films of this decade so far. It's one of my favorite comedy films probably ever. I remember seeing it opening night. I had a great time with it. I am a big Seth MacFarlane fan. I love Family Guy. I don't really care for the newer episodes. I don't care for American Dad. Cleveland Show I'm very mixed about. Like I said, I loved Ted. I was not exactly a fan of his last film, A Million Ways to Die in the West, which I did love the first time, but then I saw it again, and I just been like, ugh, this film was just utter garbage. But I was a little skeptical going into Ted 2 because I was hoping that it wasn't shitty, and it was going to be a lot of fun. And it was a lot of fun. I had a really good time with this movie. Are there problems with it? Absolutely. This is not a perfect movie. It's not a perfect sequel, but it's better than some of the comedy sequels we have nowadays. Is it as good as 22 Jump Street? Not even. 22 Jump Street was so self-aware of itself. Not that this isn't self-aware of itself, but 22 Jump Street was much better. But the positives, let's get this out of the way. Mark Wahlberg and Seth MacFarlane have great chemistry once again. Even though Seth MacFarlane is just voicing and doing the motion capture for a bear, the chemistry between him and Wahlberg is so freaking good. I loved Mark Wahlberg in the first 10. He's still very good as Johnny. Seth MacFarlane, of course, is really good as Ted, even though he sounds like Peter Griffin as a bear. Hey, Johnny, let's go to Family Park, and, yeah. I liked Amanda Seyfried as a new addition to the cast. I thought she did good as the lawyer for the movie, and I thought they worked very well together as a trio. I laughed a lot during this movie. There were some jokes, of course, that didn't work for me. There was one involved in a particular movie, but everyone brings it up. I'm not going to say what movie just in case you don't know, but if you see the movie, you'll know what I'm talking about. Pretty much everyone else did fine in their roles. There's one particular character that I'm not quite fond of, but I'm not going to say who they are. You might know who they are. My flaws with the movie. Some of the jokes didn't work. There were quite a few weed jokes. There were a lot of weed jokes and dick jokes and all that other stuff, but yeah, that's really my only problems with the movie. Like, there are some of those Seth MacFarlane jokes that don't work, like that are on the newer episodes of Family Guy, which in my opinion, kind of crappy. There were some lazy jokes in this movie. The third act kind of got a little too dramatic, like the first film, but I didn't mind it. I just didn't love it. It didn't pay off as well as it could have. Yeah, like, the movie's entertaining enough. If you want to go out and have a good time, you'll definitely enjoy this movie. It's not as good as, like, some of the comedies we've had nowadays, but it's definitely not one of the bad comedies we've had this year. So I could definitely say that Ted 2 is a very enjoyable movie. It's a decent sequel to a really satisfying comedy, and if you love Seth MacFarlane's humor, you'll definitely enjoy this movie. If you do not like his humor at all, stay away from this movie, because this movie isn't going to change your view on his humor or any of his work at all. I'm going to give Ted 2 a B-. So guys, tell me down below what you thought of the movie. Did you like it? Did you not like it? How do you feel about the first film? How do you feel about Seth MacFarlane's humor? And tell me your favorite work of his. If you enjoy his work, how about his Oscar hosting? Yeah, all that jazz that he does. Guys, thank you so much for watching this review. I apologize for this quality. You'll get a better looking review in my next review, and I will see you guys soon.